Lesson 18, group quiz. Check.
Okay. I did like on this one how we can use Excel to get our answers on a couple things. I had tried that, and that works really nice.
Yeah, that works really nice. The only thing that I was having a hard time doing in my homework was how to make a graph without the data. Because there was something in our homework that we didn't have the data, but I'll come up when we come across that. We can.
All right.
PTC tasting study one.
Okay, so we're ready to go to the quiz right away. Did anybody have any specific? Well, you had that one question, but and I remember reading that, but I don't remember exactly where it was.
Can I do attendance this week?
Sure. I'll do test questions if that's okay.
Sure.
What's the other one? Homework questions?
Homework,
Yeah.
if we had any questions on homework.
All right, well, if you guys have any questions, let me know, but I don't do the homework, so.
Well, Cody said she had a question on trying to make a.
I just needed to be reminded of how to make a graph
Lay down.
without the data. So it's not really a question, but it was just something that I was going to ask you guys to remind me how to do. So, okay, should we just dive in?
Yep.
All right, for the next 9 questions, we will review the PTC tasting study with different data. Out of 7, I had just got that data right. Out of 70 females in the sample, 52 can taste PTC. Out of 59 males in the sample, 42 can taste PTC. Please use the data presented here. So should we just pull up that Excel thing?
Yeah, sounds good to me. So then P1 is going to be the proportion of females who can taste it. So that's P1 is the 18.
P1 is
males that can taste it. So that's the.
No, then it would be 52, not 18.
Oh, because it's not the hat one. No.
Well, if you're going who can taste it, it's 52, right?
But it's looking for the hat, so you divide it by the total.
Yeah, you go 52 divided by 70, right?
Yeah,
I thought the hat was the overall proportion.
No, it's, where is it?
Is it P1 individual and then?
P hat, no. Isn't it P hat 1 equals X1 over N1?
Well, wait, but
let P1 be the proportion of the females in the population who could taste PTC, and P2 be the proportion of males in the population. So it's not that, it's just P1 is 52.
But it's looking for P hat 1.
Yeah, which is,
I'm sorry, I was looking at the wrong row.
which is X1 divided by N1.
We were just kind of identifying based on the information at the top. Let P1 be blah, blah, blah. And I was making sure we were all on the same page again. But I wasn't on the same page because I was looking at the wrong row of data.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't answering question 3. I was just talking about the data. Yeah. So P1 is 52 or 52 and P2 is 42, right?
Yeah, I agree with that.
So just to be able, so we can have, I'm just writing down the data to be able to fill all the rest of them in. But see, if we fill all the data into our Excel thing, then we can just read it off. We don't have to do the.
Right, hand computations.
Right. So that's what I was saying, like X1 is in this, if we replace this, X1 is 52, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
And then N1 is 70. And then X2 is 42. And N2 is 59, right? Am I doing that right?
I believe so.
And then we're doing a So the data to find p hat 1 is 0.743. Is that what you
Yeah.
guys have?
Yes.
Everyone's muted.
Yeah, I'm having a little trouble getting mine to let me enter it, so I'm almost there. Sorry. Wait, N1. 70. X2 is 42 and 59. Okay. So then what did you say, Cody? The test value?
Well, the data in the p hat 1 is 0.743. So question 4 or 3 is 0.743. Is that what you guys have, Malia and Jessica?
Yes.
Okay. And then question 4 is 0.712.
That's what I have.
Hat for 2. Okay.
Wait. 0.742 for question 4. And I'm sorry, I did get the same numbers on there, but I don't have my split screen. 7, what was number 3 again? 0.7.
4.3.
Thank you. 4.3 and 4.2. Those are pretty darn close. Okay. So then the hypothesis is basically, isn't it always on a 2 proportion inference that the hypothesis, the null is always P1 equals P2?
Right.
Right? And then the alternative is always P1 does not equal P2.
So it's number 1.
Yeah, I would agree.
What I have.
Yes. Okay. Point estimate.
So
What is,
can we just stick the confidence level of 95 into our table, our Excel table?
yes?
The
It's
0.95?
already there. Yes. So then what do they mean? What is another name for point interval? When they're saying what in that next question? Or point estimate, excuse me. What does that mean, the word or the phrase point estimate?
I'm not sure.
Sorry,
I
I
think
was munching here.
the point estimate,
It's the standard deviation. If you're looking at a population standard, if you're looking at the population mean, it would be the sample mean. So,
Okay, so
Since we're-
point estimate is referring to, I thought you said mean, or is it mean or standard deviation?
it's not clear. This isn't clear. It says both, basically.
Let's,
well, how do we figure that then? So don't we just put, so is it the standard deviation? So that's, or what's the point estimate? Is it, or is it, do we go back to the 1.96 or whatever?
It's the sample proportion. There we go. So let's calculate the sample proportion. If you're looking at an X bar equation, it's the sample mean. If you're looking at a standard S equation, it's the standard deviation.
Okay, so what's then create a 95% for P1 minus P2. So what is it? We just do P1 minus P2 or?
I'm still confused.
I am too.
Malia, are
it's
you
down here
using
in the thing.
Excel?
It says the point, the confidence interval for P1 minus P2 is negative 0.123 and 0.185. So that's got to be the higher and the lower bounds.
And then we divide it by 2, subtract them from one another.
No, it says it right there in the box. The confidence
It's the
interval.
sample proportion. So it's x1
Yeah, but what
plus
is sample
x2
proportion?
divided by n1 over or plus n2.
Okay, that's what I needed.
No, yeah, say that again. You were cutting out. Malia, can you
It's
say that again?
x1. I'm muted because I'm munching and my
Okay.
roommates are loud. So it's x1 plus x2 over n1 plus n2.
Plus or minus?
Plus.
Plus.
Okay.
So x1 plus x2 over n1 plus n2.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Well, so then it's just 30, or then it's just 35 over 94.
No, x1 plus x2, isn't x1 52 and x2 is 42?
Well, do we just do the totals or the,
Well, no, you're doing the x is on top, and then you're adding the n's on the bottom.
okay.
But you know what? I had a different p hat 2 number than you guys did. Did I put my data in right? Cody, isn't x1 52? N1
Correct.
is 70.
Correct.
X2 is 42 and N2 is 59.
Correct.
Okay, I have a different p hat value for p
You have to change your confidence level.
to 95, right?
Yeah, 0.95, right?
That I have it as. So I have p hat 1. Sorry, I'm backing up to, we already went past that, but I have it as 0.743. I
That's
have
what
p
we
hat
have.
2 as 0.712.
That's what we had.
Oh, I thought you guys said 42. Okay, then I just put it in wrong. Okay. So the 42 is 1, 2. Okay, sorry. So then is that 0.729?
Yeah, that's what I got.
Okay, now, so how did we get that then? 0.729, so x1 plus x2. I just think it's,
I find it hard to believe that this doesn't do it for us,
right, that's where and then
but I'm not seeing it.
x1 plus x2. And so what did you guys get?
0.729.
Okay, so it is the total, 94 divided by 129.
Yeah. But that phrase point estimate kind of threw me off. I did my the homework earlier in the week, and so you know what it's like. You forget after.
Yeah. So the margin of error.
Is that the confidence interval divided by 2? The difference between the two divided by 2? Anyone?
Everyone's muted. I hate it when
Except for
everybody's
you and
muted.
I.
Nobody's muted.
Oh, where?
We just don't know.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still muted.
I think it's 0.1.
Standard deviation of the, what's the margin of error?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure margin of error is the difference in the two confidence intervals divided by 2.
I'm surprised it doesn't have.
I mean, that was from a concept from a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Negative 0.123 plus.
But because you're coming up with the different, you want the full range. You're not going to take a negative and add it. You're basically going to use, I don't know how to say that. You want to add the two numbers together and not make the one be negative. You know what I'm saying? Because if you look at it on a spectrum, and down here is your negative number, let's just make it easy, -1, and here's the 0, and this is a negative or a +2. If you took, you know, and use this as a -1 plus 2, it would only be 1. But if you took the whole thing divided, I don't know if I'm explaining this very well. The whole thing, the whole range, it's actually spread by 3. And then
So-
divided in half makes it 1.5.
So yeah, I have, if you do it that way, it's 0.154.
Yeah, that's what I got.
We can try that and see if that works.
Okay.
0.154.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the lower bound is the negative 0.123.
Yes, I'll tell you the numbers again. Yeah, negative 0.123, and the upper bound is 0.185.
Yeah, I have that on my split screen here, hopefully.
Oh, I cannot seem to make mine be split screen. Makes me sad here. Let me try it this way. Because Malia, I was like so excited that first week you showed us or told us that we could do this and showed us how, and then I've had some trouble with it since.
So then our, what do we use again for the, to put it against the alpha? What number?
I'm not sure what your question is.
What's the next question? Question 10. With alpha equals 0.05.
So what did you guys get for your lower bound?
Negative 0.123.
Negative what?
0.123.
And what did you get for your upper?
0.185.
0.185. Okay.
So we should be able to fail to reject it, right?
Well, but what number are we using? The p-value?
P, yes.
So the p-value is 0.653.
So that is larger. So then, yeah, I agree with Malia. Fail to reject
The alternative, or no, the null.
the null. They're being tricky there, aren't they?
Yes. The not.
Yeah.
Did you see that in the video that it's called the not? That's the first time I caught that.
So then there is insufficient evidence. Now, when we state this, we state it as per the alternative hypothesis, correct?
Yes.
You know what I'm asking? Okay.
So we should say there is sufficient evidence.
If
Right?
you're failing to reject, no, I thought it was the other way around. Insufficient. Is that?
I
isn't
can
that what
never
I said?
remember.
No, it's insufficient if you fail to reject. Right, Jessica? You're
I
usually the one
never
who's
know.
really great on these.
I'm reading that. Let's see.
If the p is low, reject the null. So
Yeah.
It is insufficient. I looked at the wrong area.
Okay.
So we have
Okay.
insufficient evidence.
All right.
To
And so again,
suggest- so it's number 4.
Wait a minute.
Because wasn't our hypothesis different, not greater than or less than?
Correct. It was just not. You're right.
So it should be.
Yeah, number 4. Okay. Okay, mortality rates and day of admission. Oh, I remember that.
Well, was that a file? This is where I was trying to find the ability to do the graph, and that's where I couldn't find the data file.
But you could always just throw it into SPSS.
Well, that's what I couldn't remember how to do. So you just go into new, and that's where that's the question I had, is how to make a graph without the data. So just SPSS and then do a new file.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have to, but what Cody's going to ask is then which columns do you put which data in, and so on.
Yeah.
So,
But I think this one I can figure that out later. This one
Okay.
is just the people who died, right? So group 1, X1 is 16713.
died, weekday, group 1, yes, 16713.
And the total is 118519. So N1 is 118519. X2 is 6155. Interrupt me if I'm wrong. I'm just throwing that out there. And then N2 is 42447.
Yes. I agree with those data points. I'm going to go put them into my Excel.
Yeah, so I just put them all in my Excel, and all of our requirements all are greater than 10.
It seems like if you have large numbers, you really hardly even have to look at that, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So then, what are the questions? Who wants to start reading us the questions, and then we can just tell you the data off of the.
Let P1 be the proportion of patients who had a heart attack and were admitted on a weekday who died, and let P2 be the proportion of patients who had a heart attack and were admitted on a weekend who died. The research question for this study is given here. Is the proportion of patients who have heart attack and are admitted to the hospital on a weekday who die less than the proportion of patients who have a heart attack and are admitted to the hospital on the weekend who die?
Okay.
Use a significance level of 0.05. And it wants to know, for the first question, is the conditions for conducting a hypothesis test are satisfied?
Yes, when we put in the Excel stuff, it tells us it is.
And so then our hypothesis is the third one, right?
Yeah, it's not the equals to this time,
Oh,
because it says, I thought that was always a standard with these, but I guess not. Is the proportion of patients who have heart attack and are admitted to the hospital on a weekday who die less than the ones on a weekend. So the weekday is group 1, so to be P1 less than P2.
so it's the last
Group
one.
B? Yeah.
So P hat 1, if the data is 0.141.
That's what I have.
So it's
0.141, and P hat 2 is 0.145. And the z-score is negative 2.020.
Negative 2.202?
No, it's negative 2.020.
Okay. Dyslexia there for a moment.
So will you repeat P1, P hat 1 one more time?
141.
Sorry, I wanted to make sure I have it in there right. And then P2 was 145, right? 0.145.
Correct.
And then your z-score was negative 2.020.
Correct.
Sorry. Just wanted to double check.
So this one we will shade to the left, right? Correct? I mean, left, right?
I would agree.
And then it says on the, I love it if we can use, and it says when I was listening to the video today that you can use this Excel thing in your exams.
That's
What was the
fantastic.
z-score again?
Negative,
Z-score. Mhm.
yeah, negative 2.020.
Thank you.
And then the p-value is 0.022.
It was what, 0.022?
Correct.
Cody, you are just nailing this. Good you,
Well,
girl.
I'm just reading it off the chart.
I know, but isn't this exciting to like understand it and be able to give
Well, the
answers?
thing is, if I had to do, before I figured out how to use the freaking chart, I was doing all this. This is one page to get to P hat. And I was like, oh
I
my
know.
God.
I did that once, and I'm like, you know, they say you could use that. I think I'm going to try it. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh, I know. It is, this is,
Mhm.
but this is where I have, so we failed to reject because it's less than, or do we reject the
No.
null because it's less than?
We reject it because it's less than.
Okay.
So then there's sufficient evidence.
Yes.
Or it
But
should
we
be
have to
less
say,
than.
let's
Should be
see.
number 3.
Yeah, number 3.
Yes.
Okay, do you want me to submit?
Yes.
Yes.
Submitting, yes, submitting, yes, submitting. All right. Question 3. Oh, we got question 6 wrong.
What?
A point estimate for the 95% confidence
Because we
interval.
weren't sure what it was.
So we don't know what a stinking point estimate is.
Yeah, so we got to find that. The rest of them are correct.
Okay, I'm going to go over to our math homework.
Can you tell
stuff
me
there.
what 14 and 15 were, just to make sure I typed them in right? Because I feel like I didn't.
14 is 0.141 and 15 is 0.145.
Okay, thank you.
So yeah, so we just got to figure out how to figure what the point estimate is.
So we only missed that one, right? Number 6.
Correct. Only number 6.
Did it give us the answer?
It's 0.031.
0.031?
Correct.
Did it give you the standard deviation?
I'd have to go back and re-input why doesn't somebody, Cody, why don't you re-input the numbers?
I'm
into that?
printing.
Okay.
I'm going to print so that I can have it so that I
good
can
idea.
redo it. So it's printing, so I can't go out of it quite yet.
Okay. And I'm just looking at point estimate here, or looking through the homework, but I'll quickly just go re-enter the data. Does somebody else have that original data? I think it was the P1 was 52.
Yep.
Sound right?
P1 was 52. N1 was 70. P2 was 42. N2 is 59.
Thank you. And it shows standard deviation is now 0.0786. Standard deviation of the confidence interval is not the same number. I don't see anywhere that 0.031. All right, maybe I am mistaken. Maybe we need to take the negative 0.123 plus 0.185 divided by 2. Shoot fire. I told you wrong. I'm so sorry. You do keep the negative as a negative. It doesn't make
Okay,
sense in my head, but yeah, so that comes up with it. So we were on the right track. I told you wrong. I'm really sorry.
So the point estimate is that you add those two and then divide them.
By 2, yeah. So that's how we got the 0.031. Okay, so now I have to go back and change that on my test.
So you
That's number
add
6.
you add what and divide by 2?
The lower and upper bounds,
Okay.
divide them by 2.
Perfect. Alrighty then.
All right.
Save our responses. Go
Did
to
anyone else have any questions on their homework?
Since we all didn't finish the homework, probably not. Well, Cody was doing, oh yeah, no, you were doing homework. Her only question
Mine
was,
was just how to put, but I guess if we have to go into SPSS and just add all that data in, I was
oh shoot.
hoping that we could do it differently than that.
Yeah, I don't know of a way. I would just enter it in, Cody.
Yeah, because I mean, in the homework, you have to go through that. I mean, it makes you make a graph. But it's not one that you can just pull down all the data. And so I was lazy and I didn't want to do that.
Yeah. I have so much trouble with my computer, and I'm sure it's user error, but so much trouble with it. It's like I'll scroll either on the screen touching it, or else just even grabbing the bar on the side and scrolling down, and I end up changing answers inadvertently. So I have to go back through mine and redo it because I changed answers inadvertently. So can I have somebody read them to me again? But just a second, I have to get back there. In fact, Cody, if you're okay staying on, if you other two want to go, it's cool. Or whoever, just somebody stay there and help me.
Yeah, I'll stay. I can reread them to you because I got to resubmit it too. So did you pull it back up?
I'm just now doing that. So are you
Okay,
other
let me-
two